All right, sir. So, like I was saying, I'm Michael. I'm the owner and founder of Loudwater Outfitters. We specialize in missing persons and cold cases. We've worked cases all across the country. I utilize these videos because it helps get stories out, and the fastest way to have more people involved is by them sharing these videos, bringing awareness, raising awareness to cases, and especially in helping to locate individuals. And we've done everything from missing persons, cold cases, to fugitive apprehension, all through these interviews. So everybody that's part of the Loudwater community is a huge help in this. So what I'm going to do, so I don't spend a whole bunch of time yakking, is I'm just going to let you introduce yourself, turn it over to you, and then you just kind of let us know why we're here today, okay?
Yes, my name's John Watson, and I'm here because my daughter, Courtney Watson, is runaway, left with someone. We don't know who. We haven't heard from her. She left on, I think it's June the 21st. Hadn't heard anything from her since. Authorities is involved, and they're looking, and um, really don't know much right now. So we're looking at every way we can to find her and bring her home safely.
Yes, sir. So, and like I was telling you before when we was talking on the phone, so I was an investigator for 10 years prior to starting this. Now, the day that she went missing, do you know what time frame that was or where it was she went missing from?
Yes, it was Gaffney, South Carolina, from her grandmother's house. It was around, I think, 1 o'clock, somewhere around in there.
Okay. 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm assuming.
In the evening.
Evening.
In the
Okay.
evening.
All right. Do you any so when she left, is she on any kind of video, whether it be doorbell camera footage or anything like that? Does it show her any idea of what kind of vehicle she got in? She take off walking on foot, clothing description, anything of that nature?
Um, she left, I think, with somebody. She had a ankle monitor on, was cut
Hmm.
off. It was later found a short distance up the road.
Hmm.
And it registered that when she left, she was going at 13 miles an hour, which I think indicates, she was probably in a car.
Hmm.
Um, Somebody was, she got in the car with somebody, but nobody. I looked around the neighborhood, nobody's camera caught, that was looking this way or caught anything that, that we could tell who she was with or what kind of vehicle she got in the car with.
Yes, sir. As far as does she have any kind of active social media accounts? Did she have a cell phone, a tablet, smartwatch, anything electronic with her that was able to communicate, whether it be through Wi-Fi, uh, text messaging, anything of that kind of nature?
Uh, she wasn't supposed to. We think she could have got a phone, an old phone maybe. That
Hmm.
if it was, it would have to be a Wi-Fi, type deal. It wouldn't be a active phone.
Yeah.
Uh, but we're not 100% sure on that. But
Yeah.
she had to have something to reach out to someone to come and get her. Uh,
Yes, absolutely. And the reason I asked that is because if she had anything, whether it be a tablet, an old phone, even if it's Wi-Fi capable only, anything that gives out a signal. So we also help as far as tracking that, right? So I do have the capabilities to track cell phones. I really just need basically the phone make. Maybe if there was an old email address or a phone number obviously works, carrier services, anything of that nature. It's not always 100%, but 98% of the time, if I can get that information, we can lock in some sort of range for that. And if I can't do it, then I do know people that can as well. Um, the so the when she left, that was the last time any of her immediate family has had any kind of contact with her at all. Has there been any kind of messages, random phone calls show up, anything maybe indicating where you think she might be? And again, if you don't want to put that out, that's fine. It just kind of helps narrow it down because when this goes out, then I can also pinpoint through hashtags and stuff certain areas to where it'll help spread it through there better. Whether it be a different town, county, state, anything of that nature. Is there anywhere that you believe that she may be, or is it just you're not sure at all right now?
Not really sure because in previous times, it's not been a. This has several times happened. That one time was Charlotte, one time was Virginia.
Hmm.
So we don't really have any clue. Uh,
But yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. As far as the states or places that she could possibly go, um, just really trying to narrow it down on that. I will ask this though: if she's when she's able to see this and it gets to her, what would you want her to know? Well, first of all, how old is she right now?
16.
Okay, so she's 16. How if she sees this, I mean, what would you want her to know, like from her family? Kind of, if you could tell her anything right now, what would it be?
That were very worried about her and her well-being and what conditions that she's living in, wherever she may be, and the fact that we haven't heard from her. Any, we'd love just to, for one thing, just first off, just to know that she's okay,
Hmm.
uh, and that because we don't know, anything what could be going on,
Yeah, absolutely.
and
And and I just kind of want to back up what you're saying there on the other aspect of it is to whoever she is with right now. Like you need to understand that that is a 16-year-old child, right, in the eyes of the law, right, or really common sense. Anybody at 16. So if you're an competent minded adult right now, if you're over the age of 18, 19, 20, anything above that, I have absolutely zero use for anybody that would think that it's okay in any way to have a child out away from their family, be telling them, filling their head with all kinds of lies, thinking it's cool being out here in the streets, running rampant, doing all kinds of stuff they've got no business doing to begin with. Because there's only one of two or three ways that either ends. Either they end up in jail, dead, or basically just disappear from the face of the earth because they think nobody ever wants to talk to them again. So if anybody is watching this and you know where Courtney is at, and you've not said anything, and you think you're doing them a justice by keeping them away from their family, I can assure you that no matter what you've been told, there is nothing at the end of the day that's going to justify in my mind how it is okay to keep a 16-year-old away from their family. Clearly, there's different situations where there's abuse in households or different kind of things of that nature. I'm not going to go into that, right? But this is clearly not one of those times, right? I've spoken with your family in the past. Whenever she was found in Charlotte, I think it was her grandfather that I was working with at that point in time. And this is clearly somebody is getting into her head. She's 16. She's super like easily impacted to think that she's can trust people. She has absolutely no clue how the world works, even though she thinks she does. And these people that keep enabling her to run about, whether it be to Charlotte, Virginia, California, all these other places, I have zero use for that because what ends up happening is once she's gone, now you, her family, and everybody else associated with the family has to spend every single day wondering if they're going to get a phone call whether or not something bad has happened to her. I have no use for that at all. Um, and and as far as trying to track her down, it's the same thing with every one of these videos that I do. My biggest hope is that somebody watches this, knows where she's at, and does the right thing and calls 911 or gets in touch. I don't care who they get in touch with, as long as it's somebody that lets her know, like, hey, she is alive. This is where she's at because she needs to be at home. Obviously, there's some stuff going on there. I'm not going to go into all her personal business to where obviously this isn't the first time she's done it. She was on house monitoring, like she had an ankle bracelet on. She was being monitored. So there's clearly, I mean, they don't just do that for no reason, right? But all that aside, at the end of the day, she's still a 16 and she's running around acting like she has the entire world figured out, and it's going to end up coming back on her. But at the end, the people that are most affected by it are going to be her friends and family, and I cannot stand that. Um, what is it that you think would help as far as trying to locate her? I mean, like I said, y'all are her family, and that's why I'm asking you. Just kind of, what is it that you would like to see done? How is it that I can help? Because, like I told you, we found people, everything from wanted for murder, missing people, body recoveries. I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of people watch these videos and think that it's all sunshine and rainbows, and at the end, it takes a lot of work, a lot of effort goes into this. But I'm willing to do that because I know nobody deserves to not know where a loved one is. So I'm a little bit. I don't want it to come off as though I'm just super aggressive or anything like that. But at the same time, I know what it takes to get these kind of things solved and people found. And that's why I just need to know from her family, you as her father, what is it that you think needs to be done in order to find her? Or what would you like to see done to find her?
Um, I don't know. Like I said, the biggest thing I know of right now, considering the information that we have, is just putting word out everywhere that we possibly can, and hopefully somebody will see her and or know, maybe talk to her or whatever, know of her, and maybe have her staying there. Thinking they're doing a good thing. But hopefully somebody's going to see this and call authorities or someone, and we'll know where she's at.
Mhm.
Or maybe she'll see it and send us some kind of message that she's okay. If something would be better than nothing. At this point, because we hadn't heard nothing in a long time, about a month, I think it is. So we we're just really concerned about her.
Yeah, absolutely. And so that's what we're going to do. My biggest push, and especially now that I've become involved with it, right? Like if I tell you I'm going to do something, I'll do everything under the sun that I possibly can in order to get her located, right? Because
Hmm.
it is what it is. I mean, I know everybody grows up different. Everybody comes from either good or bad households, and I'm not saying yours is bad or hers was bad or anything like that, but it's still there's really no excuse in this situation to where this should continuously be happening because it has to be other people besides just her, right? Like I mean, it's 16. Like her brain's not even fully developed enough to where she's going to understand the decisions and the repercussions that it has on her for the rest of her life. And anybody that enables that and influences it and is like, hey, come do this, I'll take you there. They're just as much part of the problem as her deciding to leave. And because without the means to get away, she wouldn't. So
Hmm.
she's definitely gotten in with the wrong group of people there because anybody that would do that is definitely not a friend. Um, so as soon as we get off here, I'm gonna put this together. I'm gonna get it posted out. And I will say to anybody that's watching this, if you've seen her, and you said it's been a month now, correct?
Yes, it's June the 21st.
Yeah. Since June the 21st, if you've had any contact with her, if you've seen her, if you know where she's going, um, if she's with you currently, and you think you're doing a good thing by not saying anything, by not um, calling it in, she is entered missing, correct? Like she is
Yeah.
a missing status. Uh,
Hmm.
she may, and again, you don't have to go into any kind of charges or anything like that. But if she was on home detention, basically, I mean, is there some sort of criminal stuff going on there as well that she's going through right now?
Yes, there'll be some consequences.
Yeah,
Fortunately, when she's found, but
yeah.
you know,
What?
you know, she can, get through that, and she's got a loving home and a lot of loving people that wants her back home as soon as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. And the reason I asked that, right? And again, I don't judge anybody for nothing like that, but I'm saying that because if you are helping her at this point hide, then it is obstruction of justice, and that is a statute in the state of South Carolina that you can look up, that you can be charged as well, um, for basically harboring, or if she's wanted, you have knowledge of that, and clearly, if she got in the car with somebody and cut an ankle monitor off and threw it out of the window, then there is no question like I was born at night, but not last night. Nobody's going to sit there and say, "Well, I had no idea she was on the run or she shouldn't be away." Number one, she's 16. Number two, you watched her cut an ankle monitor off and decide to drive down the road. So no world is that okay. Um, so just do the right thing. That's it. All these cases that come through, 9 times out of 10, people do something stupid, whether it be they were tied up with drugs, they were doing something they didn't have no business doing, but then other people get involved and they make a decision and then it ends up changing basically not just that one person's life, but everybody involved. And then they can't own up to what they did, and they think, well, we're just going to hide it forever. Eventually, the truth does come out, one way or another. And at this point, if you're watching this and you know where she's at, and I know somebody does, she's 16. There's no way she did this by herself, and you are harboring her right now. If there's anything that I can do, any input, if you do not call and say, yes, she's here, she needs to be found, this is where you can find her at, then I will contact every person that I know that is able to do something in that realm and see to it that you are prosecuted. And it's that simple. And those aren't threats. Those are just, I'm telling you, do the right thing. I'm tired of all these family, especially there's been such an influx of young adults, right? From the ages of 12 to 16, 17 that are coming through to where nobody knows where they're at, whether they're running away or they get mixed in with drugs, things of that. And then these families are just torn apart from it. That's all I want to see. Everybody makes mistakes, but you got to learn from them. And I hate seeing people go through things. So that's what I'll do. As soon as we get done, I'm gonna edit this up and put it out, and we'll start getting it shared. Is there anything else that you want to add or get out there?
I'd just like to say that if Courtney does say this, that her mom and dad, brother and grandma, and all of her family and loved ones miss her and are greatly worried about her. And you know, we want to know that she's at least okay. Know that she's still out there, and would love just to, know that right now. I mean, we want her back as soon as possible, but at least know that she's okay. It's really hard. And we love her and I miss her a lot.
Absolutely. And Courtney, if you are watching this, I promise you, nobody out there in this world loves you more than your own family does. And a lot of people, myself included, can't say that that's always been the case, right? Like, didn't grow up in the best childhood, didn't have any of that, but I still, like, yeah, everybody messes up and, there's bumps along the way. But I can assure you, Courtney, nobody, including the people that you're with right now, love you more than your family. So if you're watching this, call them, let them know where you're at, come back, deal with what you got to deal with, and the rest of your life is still ahead of you. Do not throw it away for a couple months or a couple weeks of having a good time. It is not worth it. Well, sir, if there's nothing else, I'm gonna, like I said, edit the video, put it up, and then if y'all need anything at all, if y'all run across any information y'all'd like me to follow up on, just let me know. But once it goes up, it'll start circulating, and then as soon as information starts coming into me, I'll relay it to you, and then whatever law enforcement agencies you're working with, definitely get it to them, and I'll help you out any way that I can. Okay?
I appreciate it, sir.
Yes, sir. You have a good day.
You too.